Good morning. Okay, so today I think I'm going to talk about visual impairment and just some little tips and tricks that I've picked up that other people might find useful. I think, we'll just listen to them and see if they're any use to you. They'll help in a variety of situations where you just, whether it's just old age and eyesight slowly going, or maybe something more specific, but try them out, see if it's useful to you. So, the number one thing is phone. I use my phone a lot. Now, number one, I don't use a phone anymore. I use a tablet, but I've got a SIM card in it, so it works as a phone. The point of that was to give me a bigger screen because I still have to read like emails and fill out forms and stuff. So, if obviously with a phone, go for the biggest screen that you can. And then if you go into settings and you can go into the display and you can change like the font size and just find a size that works for you. Now, the next thing is if you're using a phone, I try and have everything on dark mode. That's an option that's available in a lot of apps now, and maybe even for the phone itself or the device itself. And what that does is instead of stuff on a white background, it defaults to a black background, and white print on black screen is much easier to read than black ink on a white background, or at least I think it is. But I recommend that dark mode. So obviously make the font as big as you can. Don't be shy about the screen size. Get a device with a bigger screen as possible. Go for dark mode because it's easier to read like that. And then always think about that as well. I was given this advice as well by an ophthalmologist. And like if you're still watching TV or something, play with the contrast on the TV, because if you adjust the contrast for your vision, because your vision might be, but obviously if you're in a shared environment, that's a bit more tricky. But so think about the contrast of colours and things. Food on a plate or pouring drinks into a cup. If you're making a coffee, try and use a white or a light colour. It's easier to see as you fill it up. If you see what I'm trying to say there. Obviously, like glasses, it's difficult. If you're filling a glass with water, it's difficult to tell. You know what I'm saying? That one's tricky. So those sorts of things help. And then number 3 or whatever with the phone, if you're like, I don't know, trying to prepare some food and you got to read some instructions, cooking instructions or something, or you got to read something on a box, and like for example, on the back of a router, you want to sign and you got to get the password take a picture of whatever it is that you're trying to, and then use the zoom in on the phone, zoom in so that you can make it bigger and then you can read it. That and then if it's something that you use regularly, you can save it. And also, don't be afraid to use that when you're out and about. Like, I don't know, if you're in a train station or a bus station or something and you're trying to read the sign up, take a picture, make it bigger. Okay, there's that. I think that covers everything, kind of. Okay, so then when you're out and about as well, I tend to plan my journey with Google Maps. So again, my phone, yeah, and I've got mobile data on. So then, and I can put that on to speak to me. And on the Google Maps, when you put the route in, the directions in, whatever, You can choose walking, or you can even choose public transport. And so it will help you with all of that. And it will tell you where you are and turn left here. And it's exactly the same like a sat-nav when you're driving. So I find that very useful. And then also, like, if you are using public transport, buses, and you can't necessarily tell when the bus is approaching, if it's the bus you want, check to see if the bus company has a mobile app, because Arriva used to have at least where I was at the time, where I was living at the time, it worked really well. So it would show me, it would track the bus, so I could expect when the bus was coming, so I'd have a pretty good idea if the bus coming up the road was the one that I wanted. So that's a pretty good one. Yeah, I haven't really got to grips with the whole text to speech and stuff like that. Oh, one other one. If you are dealing with maybe not so much text messages, yeah, that's trickier, but excuse me. Maybe if it's an email or something, if you're able to, basically, because if I get a large paragraph of text, I find it difficult to read multiple lines. So if you can, put spaces in between the lines, or if you're able to, do something with the spacing of the text. Make it like, like insert a line and put the spacing in. And that just makes it a little bit easier to focus on the line that you're reading. It doesn't blur with the line above, the line below. I think if you have those problems, you'll know what I mean. So those are my basic tips. Don't be afraid to use the phone. It's great for like a sat-nav, just for you as a person. It's great for photos. Make things bigger. If you're having difficulty seeing it, take a picture, zoom in. Dark mode, definitely recommend dark mode. And